Hi, I'm going to help walk you through filling out the forms that are required for legal psilocybin facilitation services as overseen by the Oregon Health Authority. So these are forms that all of us must have documented and on file for each of our clients. And I hope to make what can feel like a lengthy and burdensome process a little bit more easeful by providing this video for you and just having it be a resource that you can have maybe pulled up side by side with your forms. And then if you, as you're filling it out, have any questions about anything, then this can be a resource for you to hopefully have me clarify a section and make it flow just a little bit more easily. So this is the group microdosing bundle that you'll see. This is the page that will come up when you click on the link. And so just fill out the email, use the same email that you've been using for all of our correspondences. I'm just going to put my name. So this is the page that you'll see pulled up for psilocybin services for specifically group microdosing. The forms are slightly different if you're doing individual macrodosing, for example. So there's 7 different sections for this part of the form: the terms of service, the client bill of rights, informed consent, supportive touch, transportation plan, safety and support plan, and consent for others to be present. So to fill it out, you just hit the yellow button start and fill out your full name. And the terms of service just reviews our approach, our process overview, disclaimer and disqualifications, and then just a waiver and release of liability. The next section is the client bill of rights. We are required to make sure that you are informed of this. And the next section, the informed consent, you just confirm that you have received it, and then just initial each section alongside each statement. There's a section for supportive touch where you can check which touch you are okay with, whether it's hugs, placing of hands on hands or feet or shoulders, or it's perfectly fine to not consent to any touch at all. And then because this is a group setting, there's also consent for other clients to use supportive touch as well. And again, you're just going to check the boxes for what feels in alignment for you. There's a transportation plan that's required for every client and for every session, even though in this case it is a microdose and you are fully capable of operating motor vehicle afterwards. Just with the way that the regulations are currently outlined, we do request that either a friend or family member or a rideshare is used after the session just in case. But there's also an opportunity to afterwards have us assess you and you can drive yourself. The next section is just a documented safety and support plan where you just confirm your emergency contact name and phone number. And then there is an optional box, the white box, for any additional concerns that you may have that you can identify there. And then for group settings, we just have consent for other individuals to be present, namely other facilitators and then also other clients who are participating. There is an option to check for, if it applies in your case, having an interpreter or an additional client support person. You can always check that off and identify the person there. And then just fill out your name and sign. All right, so that concludes the first set of forms. Now, the second set of forms and the third set are with respect to personal identifiable information or de identified data. And so these are forms that the Oregon Health Authority requires us to provide to each client. For this form, for disclosing personal identifiable information, is completely optional. You don't have to sign this form if it doesn't pertain to you, but it really is just an opportunity to document permission for me or another facilitator to talk with either a family member or maybe another care provider, such as a counselor, therapist, or psychiatrist, about your care, really for care coordination is how I think of it. And so if that applies to you, then you can fill out the information there and sign this form. And then the last form is a notice and potential opt out of disclosure of de identified data. So the Oregon Health Authority requires every service center to submit de identified data, mostly for research purposes, about who's receiving psilocybin facilitation services. And if you're okay with participating in that program, then you can fill out the form, which again is optional, and lists the information that you are allowing to be given and also to which third parties. If you are at all concerned whatsoever about this, you do not have to fill out those sections. You can just simply sign the acknowledgement and then fill out the opt out statement to opt out of that program at the end. All right, so that concludes all of the forms that are necessary. And if you have any other questions about it, we can always address that during our preparation session.